Well, I thought I was at the home stretch. And I just did that and it snapped a little piece off that's supposed to go on the edge, so that's great. If it happens again, I'm gonna lose my mind. Well, that's a little better. And there you have it. Another simple task made exhausting and frustrating by my incompetence and the difficulty of working on a slope. But we got it. It's nailed in. I even went and got the little piece that chipped off down there and busted off and fitted in there and nailed it in, so there's not a horrible gap, but there's still, I mean, it looks messed up now, so that's good, but at least it's not just a big empty spot. Oh man, that was a much more tiring day than I expected. Anyway, also went ahead and notched out this plywood so that the pieces will lay flat and we can actually have a more suitable area to stand on. So that's good. I think I messed up. This one got churned, so it didn't cut right, and I had to make an additional cut and stuff, but you know, this isn't going to be the permanent deck. It's just kind of a serendipitous extra piece of plywood that I decided to use here. Anywho, next on the agenda, door. Alright, so this is what we're dealing with. My first attempt at making a door. These cuts here aren't that great. Kind of messed them up, but it's partly for aesthetics and also for bracing. I went minimal on the little nails that I used here, and I also don't know if these nails will really be structural for the door. I just needed something to hold it together, and then I'm planning on probably getting something to go on the back of it and screw it in. So maybe that'll hold it together better. But I also flipped it over and have a bunch of nails coming in through the other side to try and hold it all together, at least for now. I installed these little blocks for where the door handle and lock will go. Don't know if that's gonna work, but it wasn't wide enough here, obviously, so decided to put that there, and we'll see how that goes. But that's pretty much all there is left to do now, as far as I can tell. It's pretty much put together, so we just got to install the hardware and see what happens. Well, I really have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm just gonna give it a shot and see if I make this all a big waste of time. Teeth are getting filled up with the soft wood here, and it stops drilling. So I started doing the trick where you kind of like wobble the bit around as you go, and it's making it easier to get these slabs of wood out of the bit as I struggle to actually get it out again. There we go. So I can go ahead and tell you one of the issues we're having is the door is not quite thick enough because I don't have the back layer on. So the hole for the bolt bit is actually like breaking through on the other side, but I'm hoping that we can just install it for now, and then later I'll take it off and get the backing put on. Or it just breaks the board entirely. Damn. So there's the holes, and that's the piece that fell off. I reattached it. Once again, if this door works out, I'll have a big backing board on here and put it in with screws probably to hold all that together, but you see how it broke through. So that's unfortunate. I had no plan when I was making this, so there's a number of flaws, such as this is our hinges, and they are not in the most sturdy place imaginable. And I was trying to save money, and I only got 2, so all that weight's gonna be on this little strip here and the 1x3 on the front, which is some really soft wood. So yippee! We'll see how this goes. I mean, obviously I can reuse the hardware even if the door doesn't work out, but kind of sucks because wood wasn't exactly cheap for my budget anyway. So I guess I'll try hanging it and see if it comes tumbling down. There's no light on the inside, so it's going to be kind of a task to work in there, but hopefully I got the hinges on right. I'm not confident about that at all. And yeah, I guess you can just sit out here and watch me fail. well, that's going to do it for today. It's not completely installed. I gotta get a screwdriver in order to tighten these up, but of course I'm gonna put the back on it, so maybe if I can get that done first I won't have to worry with that. But it's hung and it more or less works. It's hitting at the top there. I put the hinge a little bit too high, but it's also, I think this piece of the header is hanging down a little bit, so I don't know, I might try to trim it. I already tried it a little bit, but anyway, it technically works. I can lock the deadbolt, and the door is shut. I gotta get the stopper material over here all around the edges, of course, but so you can hear it right there. It hits that second piece of the header, but if I just smack it through, it works. So it's a flimsy one. Maybe it'll stiffen up when I put the other material on it, but if it works out, we're gonna sand it and try to stain it and everything just like the rest of the building as well. But for what it's worth, there's a door. I mean, there's at least something blocking this hole now. Well, here it is more or less. I got the trimming for the door jamb around it. It's wonky as hell. Like, here's the siding, here's the framing, and here's the thing. Another thing is I got the backing on, and I got 1-inch screws, but they poke through a little bit. So I got to figure out what I want to do about that. I can either add another layer onto the back. I don't have enough material, but I could add like strips or something. Or I gotta like somehow grind those ends down that came through. Sucks, but what are you gonna do? I don't know if I can really show you. It's too dark. Yeah, and I'm filming with my phone, so I can't use the light on it, can I? Creepy old cabin, squeaky door. I did that intentionally. Yeah, I can't use the light apparently with the camera going, so I'll just show you another time. I actually brought a light out here and I turned it on and it was on for about a minute, and then the battery died. So that was great. So I had to figure out ways to work with less optimal light. But anyway, the door is functioning. I can have to kind of pull it tight, so you kind of need both ends. There you go. Lock it, unlock it, lock it. Feels pretty solid. So there you go. You have to pull it really tight in order to get it to lock. So there you go. It's a door. Here, I can show you. This is the material I bought. The door isn't level, that's why I was doing that. I don't know if I care to fix it. Anyway, this is like 1/4 inch material, close to a 1/4 inch. And it has kind of like a, whoa, no. Ooh. I don't know, like a rosy kind of color to it, so this is what's facing out on the back of the door. I had the guy at Home Depot cut it for me to like rough size, cut it in half, and then rip it down to about the same width as the door. And then I just did the extra trimming that I needed to get it to fit exactly. And yeah, it wasn't too hard. The only thing that sucks is that some of those screw points came through. I know one thing I could probably do if I got some good cutters that would cut them off, and I could pull the screw out, cut the tip off, and then drive it back in. That would probably be the easiest solution to that little problem, so I might look into that. But anyway, we now have what I'm going to call right now a functioning door. And I got the sandpaper to sand it down. I got like some of this area here. Some of this wood had like the little prints on both sides. So I think maybe it bled off of other boards that it laid on or something after they put that on there. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to try to sand it down and maybe stain it eventually. Unless it just fails entirely at some soon somehow before I get to that, and then we'll just have to figure out another door solution. But yeah, I know obviously you should put like there should be like a door frame technically, and then that would come out to here, and then you could trim it. So that is something to consider. I just wanted to get something up here today, so I felt like the door was actually functioning. So yeah, we may not be done with this whole door situation just yet, but it's up. All right, that's all I can say. It's not perfect. I do think it's kind of pretty. I intentionally chose these boards. Home Depot, like I don't know if I covered this already, but Home Depot was really low on material, so I had to scrape and scrounge to get what I considered the best looking ones. And you know, I wanted ones that had like these kind of imperfections, so I could make like an old rustic cabin door. I wanted to go with 1x6s, but they apparently don't sell 1x6, like untreated 1x6 at Home Depot, so I just had to go 1x4, and I don't know, it looks okay, in those terms anyway. So anyway, I'm about to wrap it up here, but I guess for now we'll call it that's a door. For whatever it lacks, it's a door of some kind.